Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is Spurs live show with me, leader Dorset Spur. We're currently streaming live on YouTube and Facebook, and you'll be able to download this on audio platforms tomorrow once we've finished. If you fancy just listen to it on your own in your own time, please do hit us up in the chat and let us know how you're feeling about being a Spurs fan at the moment. And if you enjoy the show, please do consider subscribing. If you haven't already, it doesn't cost you a brass bean. So nothing to lose from that point of view. Gets you the opportunity to comment in the chat as well. And it'll be good to know that you're there. Tonight, I have, of course, with me my good friends from Essex, Dino, Mason and Alex. How's it going, boys? Good to have you back. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've done one of these.
Well, you keep going on holiday, don't you?
You can't blame me. It was an international break. There was no football on that I'm interested in.
Well, there was no texts, there was no pictures, no nothing. I bet you wore your claret and blue trunks, didn't you? Because no one knows who you are.
All the time. It's just bitter and twisted.
Bitter and twisted. Anyway,
I never wear another team shirt, unlike other people.
Mason. Yeah, come on, Mason. Show all the viewers what you're wearing.
Special occasions.
Explain yourself.
Get behind the team. Get behind the team, lads. Get behind the team.
Hola, Madrid.
Hola, Madrid.
Well,
Isn't it terrible, though, that you've got to rely on teams from another country to make you happy? because your team's just not doing it for you at the moment.
No, they love to do it when it's the other way around, Lee. They love to do it when it's the other way around.
Yeah, of course they do. What do you think about the international break? I'm just not a fan of it. If there's football like a competition, then I'll watch it. You know, if we're in the World Cup or the Euros, I'll watch it. But these warm ups and all the rest of it, it's just not interesting to me. You guys interested in it?
No, not really. No. I don't think most of the people that go are worried about it either, because the crowd is lucky. It's a library, isn't it? Yeah. So I think they need to. If they could do something, they need to make it a bit more exciting. Because it used to be exciting, isn't it? Any England game used to be exciting. Now it's a bit. Now it's a bit mundane. So
I was thinking of doing one of those ancestry things to see if I could itch myself to another country, and I'm hoping for like Argentina or Brazil or something.
No, you won't be Argentinian, mate. I can guarantee you that.
But, you never know. I could be, but to be honest with you, I'd almost rather be a team that you know's not going to win it, where there's no pressure on them. Almost like
Irish.
Having a bit of Welsh in you or something, so that you can support Wales, because they're never going to win the World Cup, but you can just go and have a great time.
You're going to insult all the Welsh listeners and viewers now. I apologise on Lee's behind. He wants a bit of Welsh in him. I'm sorry. You said that. It's only 7:20 to 8.
Yeah, this is an X-rated show.
X-rated version. We'll have to edit that bit.
Leader Dorset wants a bit of Welsh in him. What about Iceland? It'd be quite good to be a bit Icelandic or something. 300,000 people all behind the team, no expectation, and when you win a game, it's already good news, isn't it?
And the women are pretty.
Well, there is that. Anyway, I suppose we better stop rambling on about Europe, international football, because, like we've just said, none of us are particularly interested in it anyway. But it is a good time to go and have a bit of a holiday, get yourself away, and blow the cobwebs off. So that's what I did, and I'm not apologising for it at all. I didn't miss you at all. So sorry,
bollocks. Then up your old then.
Up your old, nice. So listen, it's been a bit of an up and down week, obviously. I guess we should really, I don't really want to, but I think we should probably touch on the Chelsea game to start with. I'm not sure that I was kind of expecting much from it, but I don't know. Dean, what was your view on that? On the was you expecting to get anything out of that game? Was you shocked that we basically just got nothing?
Weren't shocked, but at the same time, Chelsea are shit at the moment. We're shit. We're a little bit shittier.
Their fans are shit.
They are, mate. They just there's a pub. It's I think
Butcher's
the Butcher's
Hook.
Hook, right?
Yeah.
Butcher's Hook, right?
Should just be
And
called Wank Station.
They're so constantly singing about us. When we go LTs or we go to Gilpin, or you go to British, no matter what pub you go to in Spurs, they're never mentioned. They're sort of like making it a derby when it ain't. We hate them, yes, we do. You know, we really do. But we couldn't give a rat's arse about them. But they are constantly, they've like the beginning of their song when when the team walks out is all about us. We are rent free in their mind, 100%. It's ridiculous.
Rent being the obvious word, by the way.
We couldn't give a shit about them. Really couldn't. All right, it's a game we want to, we want to win, but you want to win every game. But yeah, they honestly, mate, they are obsessed, absolutely obsessed. As for the game, crap, absolutely crap. There was no intensity. Again, we could have been sort of 1-0 down in seconds. It's just bad to watch.
Yeah, I was the same. I was like, I went on a We Are Tottenham TV with Kate and Jimbo prior to the game, and I was like, I think we're going to lose 2-1, blah, blah, blah. That's what I'm thinking and all the rest of it. And Jimbo was saying, you've got to believe, they're not a great side. We've got players in that. They've really just got to turn up and really want the game. And I'm watching it and I'm like, well, that didn't happen, Jim, did it? They didn't want it at all, did they? I didn't think.
No.
I just thought they kind of turned up, but no one really put the effort into that game. Maddison, for me, was missing again. And, it was just appalling. Alex, what did you think? Did you think there was just nothing in that game for us? We did nothing.
I think it's becoming a bit. It's becoming a bit too obvious if we're going to win or not within the first 5 minutes. Again, what was it? Minute and a bit before they had their first chance. I don't know what Vicario's doing. At least swore then. Vicario seems to want to be diving backwards instead of forwards, sort of thing. In some of the saves. But as soon as we were on the pitch, first couple of minutes, you knew. I've never been to Stamford Bridge before. What a shithole! I just was very disappointed by another London team's ground, mate. Absolute crap. The fans are absolutely deluded because we were right next to them. When you divide them from about like 10 seats and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
As soon as it was like, as soon as the whistle blew, they just turned around and rah, and it was that, and there's all the normal things about Tottenham, about this, about that, about this, about that, and then obviously we gave it back. And when they scored, they went mental on the pitch. We just didn't. I don't know. It's just something missing again, isn't there? I mean, we can feel the tension in the stands, standing next to that shite, but they must feel the tension on the pitch, but they don't seem to want to do anything about it.
Yeah, it's a real it's really difficult. I just don't understand how they can't get up for a game like that.
Exactly.
I get Dean's point about them not being our rivals and all the rest of it. There are a lot of Tottenham fans who hate Chelsea as much as they hate Arsenal. I'm not one of them. I've never really been bothered by Chelsea, to be honest with you. But like to see the lack of interest, it felt like in that game was shameful. I was just really, really disappointed that we didn't put up a fight because, like you say, I don't mean they're a particularly good team at the moment, but they are still fourth, aren't they? Didn't they creep into the top four after that win?
But it's just disappointing again, isn't it?
I just don't get it. How can they be that bad and still be able to grind out those results? And yet we've got a decent team and we just can't seem to do it.
Just disappointing, mate. It's just disappointing. I just don't know what else to say.
You say about them singing. Was there any of the anti-Semitic stuff going on? Or
There was
from that now.
I didn't obviously me being sweet and innocent. I didn't realise that when he was there doing that. I thought he was calling me short, but he wasn't calling me short, was he? No. So but then they gave a bit of that back. The lady behind us, is she in charge of the LGBT plus?
Yeah, Rainbow Laces.
Rainbow Laces. She was going mental at them because they were saying a few things. All we could do is that, innit? Or no one started singing about prostitution or anything like that. being in Chelsea. But
and that's the difference, right? We was told, and it's many times we were told. Obviously, there was that song, and that was the only real song that we ever sung about Chelsea. And it was like, no, you ain't doing that no more of that. Got to stop it. And it weren't done. Even when they was giving us absolute pelters, we didn't rise to their shit, right? You know, they it was like Champions of Europe, you'll never win that. Well, I think you'll find, I think you'll find that we have, because they don't remember anything. They don't remember fuck all unless it's in the Premier League area. Anything like earlier than that, you've never won nothing. Yeah, we have, mate. And they go, we've won it all, and then it was like you've bought it all. So we was giving them plenty back, but nothing like that. I mean, they're sort of stuck in the 70s, mate. They still think they're the Chelsea headhunters, and they're not. They're crap, and they were crap until Abramovich put the money in, you know, and that's all they are. A shit football team, and I'd rather watch Fulham than that crap. That's
I agree with you. I got no love for them, to be honest with you. I've got a cousin who's a big Chelsea fan and all the rest of it. I know a few Chelsea fans personally, so I just avoid talking about football to them because I just can't bear the kind of big-headedness and that you get and the hatred for us and the fact that they're still doing a lot of the anti-Semitic stuff after all the aggravation you get about it, and then the cheek is that they put it on us that it's our fault, which really grinds my gears, if I'm being honest.
I mean, all of that. I mean, it's such old hat, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really, you know, if someone was doing it next to where we were, we'd say something like Dean says, they're still stuck back in the 80s, you know, all thinking they're whatever, you know, Gooners, ICF, Chelsea headhunters, bushwhackers, and whatever. They all think that that's what they are, and they're not. It's a bit old hat now. You know what I mean? Most of the now look like fucking hairdressers.
Mason, let me bring you in on this because you're not saying anything. But let me ask you this, right? Do you think that game was a free hit for Ange? Did you think it kind of didn't matter because no one was expecting us to win? Do you think it didn't matter?
No, it definitely mattered, but no one was. I don't think anyone was expecting a result, but it definitely mattered. I mean, this is like, I think he's won. I think Ange in the 2 years he's been here, he's won one London derby. So I was expecting maybe a different attitude towards it, like do or die. We need to win. The fans haven't been very happy for a while. We've gone into every London derby since Ange has joined and been second favourites. I find that mental. Yeah. Even when we're getting bantered by Brentford, losing at Fulham, even derbies that don't even matter, like Fulham and Brentford, like teams that we don't really, or even Palace, because we even lost at Palace, teams that we don't really cross our mind. But it's just the fact that we've got no bragging rights whatsoever. Because at the end of the day, we have a lot that go to work the next day and be like, oh fuck, it's shit in it. It's shit. But they don't understand I mean, I get it. Obviously, players are playing and stuff like that, but they don't understand the grief the fans go through, especially Spurs fans, for years. They don't know what it's like to be in a social circle anywhere, being a Spurs fan. It's exhausting at some point.
Yeah,
it's shocking. Yeah.
But bear in mind, like that game on Sunday, right? I was up at 6 o'clock in the morning, right, to get ready. Get picked up at 7 o'clock. I didn't get home until 9 o'clock at night, right? After being up there, and all you were asking for from the players is some passion and some effort, right. And when you watch it and you think, oh, it's just like when a Chelsea won, I was just watching it. I'm thinking, there's just nothing in this game. Like they're just not. There's no interest in it at all. No one's really trying to do anything. No one wants to win this game. They're just going through the motions, and it was just. Well, it was just so difficult to watch in the end. I just had enough of it, to be honest with you. I couldn't wait for it to be over and we moved on. So,
okay. If you watch them play, Lee, I mean, as soon as they got the ball, bang, it was in the air and they was all chasing down the flanks to get the ball. And that's all they did all game. And we didn't stop it, right? And it happens to us so often that the ball goes across to the flanks and then the cross comes in. We didn't stop it once. It was ridiculous. Yet we got the ball. We got Vicario shouting at him, screaming him, and do this, do that. And
he's beginning to get on my nerves,
right? And he just rolled it 2 foot in front of him. and then it went cross, bum. We was under pressure straight away. It happens every game, and he's screaming at people, and it's his fuck up 9 times out of 10. Whether that's how he's coached, because I said it to Al when we first got Kinski, I was watching him and thought, wow, this is a breath of fresh air. Ball come to him, you know, the Liverpool game, flicked it over the top. Oh, it was brilliant to watch. Next game, no, you have it. They coach that shit out of them, and it becomes dull and boring. You can do it if you've got a brilliant back line, right? And a good midfield. We've got none of that. We have got none of that. It's just, and you can see that the players have lost all enthusiasm. And I do get it, because they're getting it from the manager going, no, this is what you want to do. And then they're going to get it from the fans going, fucking, what is this rubbish? Why are we playing like this? This isn't Spurs. I can't work out what happened from the first 10 games we played when we was brilliant, to the Chelsea game when everybody got injured, to now. From that Chelsea game to now, we ain't had a brilliant game of football. It's all been dull, pedestrian, boring football.
Well, that's why I don't buy all this. And just caused all the injuries through his high intensity training. Or so. They haven't been doing any of that high intensity training. They haven't been playing any kind of high press or anything. It's been really, really predictable football. Like you say, someone asked me. They said they didn't see the Chelsea game, but they were listening to it on the radio, and they were looking at the stats. And we had loads and loads of possession in the middle of the field. He was like, we had all this possession in the middle. I went, yeah, because it was just going backwards and forwards, side by side. And no one was making anything of it. For me, the midfield was absolutely missing. I make Roy Keane absolutely spot on when he talked about James Maddison. And I like James Maddison, right? But he said, if you're relying on James Maddison to be the man who picks you up and drags you forward, then you're in trouble. And I think he's right. Because Maddison just went missing in that game. There was nothing of him in it. He was like the invisible man.
I like Maddison, though. I do like Maddison. He does get involved. But, yeah, is he a busy fool?
But not in the big games. Not in the big games where you really need him to. I don't care if he can turn it on against Southampton.
Yeah,
I don't give a monkeys about that, because anyone should be able to turn it on against Southampton. But he shouldn't turn it on against Chelsea.
Yeah, but I'd say the opposite about Maddison. I'd say that he does turn up for big games, but not for little ones. Like Southampton, nowhere. Ipswich, nowhere. You could even say Palace, nowhere. Fulham, nowhere. But then you think about the big games. City, brace. United, goal. Liverpool, goal. It's just the big games.
Chelsea?
I don't get it.
What about Chelsea? What about Arsenal?
I get Chelsea. I get Arsenal.
Do you know what I mean? These are big games that you need that guy to turn up and be the difference.
I do get that, but I think Maddison is more of. He's not a big. When people think big game players, you think of Kane, you think of like prime Son, you think of say. God knows players. You know the players in your head when you say big game player. Maddison is not one of them, but when it's a big team, he will turn up. I don't know why. I mean, you could say Chelsea, whatever, but you could go back to the start of the season now, Villa as well. His free kick to prove when he was on bench. When it's a big team and it's a game that matters, he shows up. But when it's as I say, an Ipswich, a Southampton, because even Roy Keane took the piss out of him then. He said, yeah, he scored against United, but where was he for Ipswich? It's what Maddison does. I don't know why. Being that he come from Leicester, he was a good player at Leicester. He should be playing the same quality throughout whatever team he's playing against, but he doesn't. I can't work him out.
He's too inconsistent. But then the whole team feels to me like it's inconsistent. There doesn't seem to be any kind of plan that they're going to stick to or effort that they're going to put in. You don't know who you're going to get from one game to the next. Or one after the next, to be honest with you.
No. Well, I mean, you look, we brought in some good players from teams that were doing okay, and you think, oh, he's a good player, he's going to make the difference. And we've had a couple of games, they ain't that player anymore. I mean, you look at Papsa, Jed Spence. Oh, yeah, we brought him in. Oh, he ain't doing what we were doing. All of a sudden, he's doing what he's doing now. He was just like left on the bench, left out to rot. Like, who else? Basuma, Brighton Basuma. Oh mate, it was brilliant. Coming to us, we've turned him into shit. We've got to be the worst chefs on the planet, like as coaches, because we get the brilliant ingredients. Go, yeah. What we make today, chef? Shit, that's what we're going to be making. Do you want some? Yeah, come and watch it fucking down the lane, because that's all you're going to be getting just lately. And Alex said to me, "What do you think of the game?" I said, "I was bored. Yes, we won." And I should be going, "Yay!" I couldn't even be someone won the last game. I couldn't even be bothered to jump at me and go, "Yay!" Bored to fuckly. Absolutely bored to fuck of watching this total inept football. And we're lucky if we scrape a win.
You started him off now, mate. I have to put up with that all the fucking time. Honestly.
Listen, everyone's entitled to their opinion, right? Everyone's entitled to their opinion to say whatever. Let's move it on. Let's talk about Southampton.
Sex. Let's talk about sex, baby. Yeah, carry on.
Oh, sorry, that's just put an horrible image in my mind of you moving about
to those listening, I agree. But yes, carry on.
And I'm now feeling sorry for your missus. Anyway.
Oh, she loves me. Go on, carry on.
Someone's got to. So
Mason
listen,
loves me.
let's talk a little bit about Johnson then, right? So Johnson pops up, gets a couple of goals, brilliant for him, absolutely brilliant for him. And he does, like in my mind, he does what nobody else in the team is doing: arriving late at the box, putting a ball in the back of the net, and all the rest of it. One of our top goal scorers. Like someone said today, I watched a video of someone, and they said that he's scored more goals this season than Ginola did in his time at Tottenham. Now, I don't know whether that's true or not, but I think he's up to like 16 goals or something this season. So, I mean, that's a pretty decent return, right? Bearing in mind he's had some injuries as well. What do you think of Johnson, Dean? What do you think of him, like from his point of view? You know, he can't do no more than put in the back of the net, can he?
Nah, and that therein lies the rub, mate, because that's the problem. He's good at putting in the back of the net, but that's not what we bought him for. We bought him as a winger to put the crosses in, right? But the bonus is, yes, he's making goals, he's putting them in. But you watch him when he comes down that wing. We bought him because like he was fast, he was pacey, he'd take players on. He don't do that anymore.
No.
He'll drop it off and then go, and hopefully that ball will be rolled into him. That's not what Johnson used to do. So we've coached that again. Got the chefs out. You want to do that? No, son. This is where you're going to stand. Yeah, but I don't know. Take players on. Give us some excitement.
We saw that against Chelsea, right? When he actually took them on one occasion against Chelsea when he came on, right? And he put the ball across to Son, who was unlucky really because he chucked himself at it, and the keeper Sanchez chucked himself across the goal and made a really decent save.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that would have been 1-1. But that's what's missing for me with Johnson. You see it with Odegaard. He tries to take players on, doesn't cross enough, but he does take the players on. But then he doesn't do as much. So I know he's not had as much opportunity, but he doesn't do as much putting the ball in the back of the net maybe as Johnson did.
No, it's just weird watching them. You know, all the things that we thought we was getting. It's like a kid at Christmas, right? Oh, you've got for the. I'm going old school here, mate. But you've gone for the Littlewoods catalogue. Oh, what? I'd like that. And you go, oh, it's a that shaped box. What have we got? Oh, we've wrapped it up and we put a thing in there. It's a little bit of coal for you. Oh, thanks. Right? That's what we keep getting.
How old you are?
Got a that shaped box with a bit of fucking coal in it. And I'm sick of it.
He does come from Norfolk, though. I must admit, so that's probably a true story that he's told you there.
Is.
You know,
yeah. He wrapped him up in a box of Evil Knievel and opened it up, and there it was, a lump of coal.
Yeah, and
it sounds
funny
like it.
And it's funny how that Littlewoods catalogue always opened up on the same page. Hey, Dean.
Well, it did after a while.
Anyway,
Mason's sitting there thinking, "What's Littlewoods catalogue?" He's got no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. I had an Argos catalogue when I was little. That's what
not quite the same, son. If someone called you a catalogue kid, you wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
Anyway,
there were certain benefits to the Littlewoods catalogue that don't exist in the Argos catalogue for sure.
Well, the toy section was bigger, Dean. Lee, what are you talking about? Oh, no wonder he's wearing glasses. Just blind.
I'm just rubbing my eyes now, just to get myself
memories, is it? Memories.
Mason, let me bring you in because I need to talk to someone sensible.
Cheek.
Johnson not getting the penalty. What did you make of that? What was your view? Very much felt sorry for him, should have been given it, or was you more a case of pragmatic? The team need to win. Striker should take it.
A bit of both, really. I mean, it could have gone three ways, in my opinion. Tell could take it, get himself on the score sheet, and hopefully that can, propel him forward. Or you give hat trick. You give Brennan Johnson a hat trick, or as you say, Dean, put it in the back of the net. Who cares? Who gives a sod? You know what I mean? Just for me, as long as it went in the back of the net, I didn't care. But it would have been nice to see a Brennan Johnson hat trick. But it was also nice to see Tell on the score sheet finally. I mean, I know he scored at Villa, but this is league wise.
Yeah. I do think the important thing, because they just scored, right? And so what you're then concerned about is, are we then going to end up in a situation of being really edgy towards the end of the game? So you needed to be certain he puts that goal away, right? So surely it makes sense for the striker to take it, trying to be pragmatic.
100%. I mean, like, if Solanke was on the pitch at that point, you'd want him to take it. So it's just that's how it works. Put your talisman up front, for the penalty, sorry. But as I say, it would have been nice to have Brennan Johnson get a hat trick, but just wasn't meant to be.
But I don't think that quietens the crowd down that's still getting on his back, is there? Like he's still the one that everyone, like, he's getting a lot of stick still, even though, like I say, he scored all these goals and all the rest of it. He's still getting the negativity from some sections of the fan base.
Have you noticed that people can't mind a Brennan Johnson now, so they're going after Solanke? The fan base is getting really on my nerves at the moment, especially online. It's people couldn't moan at Brennan Johnson because he's gone and scored a brace, because he's been doing it all season, just brushing the comments off of his back and then carrying on and scoring and playing well. But now they're going for Solanke because he's a £65 million striker. But we all know, as Tottenham fans, Solanke isn't an out-and-out goal scorer. He's heavily relied on in the build-up. So players like Johnson, like Odebear, can score. It goes from scapegoat to scapegoat. That's the word I want to use. So it's just getting on my nerves at this point.
It does feel like the fan base is quite a toxic fan base. I was talking to someone and they were saying, like, they can't bear it. Like after I'm actually, like, it is so fractured. I think it's getting worse. The disconnect between certain sections of the fans. You can't. For me, football's all about opinions, but you can't have an opinion, because if your opinion is different from somebody else's, then they're all on your back all the time, and you're a Levy lover or an Ange sexual or fucking all these different things I keep hearing. And I'm Jesus Christ.
What?
An Ange sexual is the one that I've been hearing quite like. So if you're not an Ange out, then you're there's something wrong. You're a nonce and all sorts of stuff. I've seen. Honestly, I've seen it. I've literally seen it on Twitter, on Facebook, on all of those things. And I'm like, I can't bear it. I can't deal with it. I just want to support my team.
Better walk around with a bag on his head then, because he looks like Postecoglou. Fucking hell.
Yeah, Postecoglou from Timu. Alex, let me come to you then. Let me come to you then and ask you about Ramsdale's handball outside the box.
Yes,
did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that. That was a handball.
Not even a yellow card.
Not even a yellow card. That's in it.
But it was given as a free kick, right? We got a free kick for it, so surely that's got to be a sending off.
He done it. Yeah, well, for us, yes, I suppose it would be a comical moment.
He's outside the box. The keepers can't handle the ball outside the box, can they?
Arsenal rejects, the clown sort of thing, But
Vicario got away with it. Remember that one?
Yeah, but again, I can't go. Yes, Ramsdale should have been sent off really with a handball outside the box. Okay, so they wanted to keep the game flowing. So a free kick. So obviously they've acknowledged it. But I bet his arse went at one point when that happened. But, But Mason just mentioned Vicario. I can't work him out. He's going back. He's diving backwards to land on his arse. I don't know what he's doing there. But I think he should have been sent off if rules are rules. Because if it was us, he'd be straight off, wouldn't he? And we all know that for a fact. Chelsea game, we got nothing, did we? We got fuck all. That ref was even helping them up off the floor. So and kept patting them on the back as they ran past him. So
well,
yes.
let me just come back on this point about Vicario, right? When Vicario did a handball, that was one where he was kicked towards him and he was kind of rushing out, wasn't he? Right, so it was almost an accidental type, not accidental, but one of those. He's not in the right position. I don't know where he is. Right, the one with Ramsdale. If you watch the video, right, he's literally outside the box.
Outside the ball, yeah, slides and
he reaches out. Let me use this hand so you can see on the video. He reaches out and pulls the ball back to him. That for me was a blatant handball. If you're an outfield player and you're rushing back towards the goal and you dive out and save the ball with your hands, you'd get sent off. So I don't understand how you don't get sent off for that.
It's us, isn't it? It's us. What can you say?
It's down to referee incompetence again, and it goes every week. There's a new dodgy decision. I mean, this week's I think that one wasn't highlighted because of the Arsenal decision, but either way, fuck them. So it's just a bit of an annoying thing.
I mean, that kind of brings me on, Dean. Let me come to you because that brings me onto the Bergvall offside goal and the VAR. VAR going on for 5 minutes. That's crazy, isn't it?
But it's brought in clear and obvious, right? If you can't spot something clear and obvious within the first 30 seconds, then it's not a clear and obvious fucking error, right? Yeah. It's I'm going to sit there and fucking go, oh, I'll find it. I will find it. There it is.
Digging. They're fucking
It's not
digging.
fucking right in front of you, isn't it? It's like your fucking missus telling you, where's my keys, babe? They're on the side. What fucking side? So you might, it's not clear and obvious. It's that sort of thing. Yeah.
I'm glad my missus didn't hear that, Dean, because
How many sides have you got in your house?
It's not clear and obvious. Just give us a bit of help. So if it's not in the first 30 seconds, then it should be okay. On
they're digging, aren't they? They're digging. Oh, they're digging for something. That's what they're doing. They're looking for something, aren't they? They don't want the referee to look like a bell end, but he does anyway. You know.
Is it semi-automated VAR decisions? Isn't it coming up?
That's coming.
Yeah, they want to bring that in, right?
Yeah.
That's coming in next. I mean, I looked at the offside, and I'm like, where's the offside? Who's offside?
It was his hand. His hand.
No,
wasn't
it wasn't because that was. If you see the image, it was Ben Davies. His hand looks offside, right? But you can't score a goal with your hand, so it can't be him. It actually was Romero, but Romero had his back to the goal. So how is he interfering with play? How is he offside if he's got his back to the goal? Right? It just beggars belief. For me, I've always said offside there should be daylight between the two players. If you can see daylight, he's offside because offside was about gaining an advantage, an unfair
an extra yard, wasn't it? Yeah,
it was to stop goal hanging. That's all offside was meant for.
Yeah. So if you're not literally goal hanging, or there's no space between you and the defender, then how can you be offside? You're not gaining anything from it.
And again, like Dean said, someone's looking at that screen, fucking digging away, scratching at the screen. No, come on, let's make that work. Wouldn't surprise me if they're cutting and pasting or something like that to move you across. They're just looking for it all the time.
I mean, the fans started booing after 30 seconds.
Yeah,
they were literally booing after 30. What was it, 5 minutes or so?
6 minutes. It's become embarrassing, really, now, and it just becomes a bit stupid.
So Andrew's right then, isn't he?
Yes.
All the talk this week has been like Ange in press conferences over the Chelsea debacle. The disallowed goal there and their disallowed goal for offside, which again I was like, that's a goal. It's a goal. It shouldn't be not given. That should have been, because the guy who scored, he wasn't anywhere near that, so he didn't. There was no. So for me, it was a goal. So Ange is right, isn't he?
Yeah, he is about the VAR bit, definitely right, definitely.
I mean, like you said, it's clear and obvious. Got to be clear and obvious. If it's not clear and obvious, then move on.
I just don't understand what it is with English referees. I really don't understand it.
They're all on cocaine,
Well, I don't know. Well, there was a reason that not one English referee went to the World Cup last year. The Euros. There was a reason for that. There was a reason for why in other competitions they have to call over foreign referees. What is it with the English FA or the English refereeing that makes it so hard? And it does my head in. I don't understand it. I really don't.
Say they're the best. They say they're the best in the world, don't they?
But they're not. They're not at all. They're not. I don't understand.
PGMOL aren't fit for purpose. They just not.
Yeah.
Right, they've got idiots that sit in that box going, "Oh, we'll find something. We'll go back. We'll go forward. Go back." They can't tell the fraction of that ball leaves that man's foot, woman's foot, whoever, right, and then goes. They can't. They can't go. They're wanting it back. When's it just left? When's it just? That's not football. It's ruining the game. It really is. I mean, we used to love going there. You could, yeah. And then you got people going, I think it was offside. They didn't used to do that because the ref or the lino didn't put his hand up. So
I mean, I get like
we're going, and then going, oh, he's offside.
I mean, goal line technology, I think, is great, right? Because when you look back at how many goals that have gone over the line that have never been counted, never been given, and all the rest of it, I was all for that. The VAR, certainly the application of VAR in this country is absolutely appalling. And they'll point to, and Ange made this point, they'll point to the fact that they get into the right decision, but the right decision is taking too long to get to. It's too much aggravation to get there, and it's ruining the spectacle of the game. The fact is, I personally would much rather the referee get it wrong at the time, and you look at it afterwards and go, referee fucked up there, than to sit there for 5 minutes to wait for another referee to come to the wrong decision or even the right decision. And you go, well, yeah, it was all right because, it made a difference. It just boggles my mind. The automated, semi-automated free kick, the offsides, that's still going to end up going to VAR, which again seems crazy to me. I know it's supposed to speed it up, but that's just crazy to me. Surely, if you're going to go to, automated offsides, you just go automated offsides, because if the technology is to give you that detail, why do you then need someone else to look at it if it's telling you like the same with the ball crossing the line?
I mean, as petty as it sounds, there's only ever a conversation about VAR and about how useless it is by the mass media is when it affects Liverpool, and I don't know why. Do you remember every single time something had fucked up with VAR, it was always Liverpool being the victim? I don't understand it, but this weekend alone, VAR had fucked up on the Wolves game, on the Arsenal game, the Spurs game, and I'm pretty sure the United game, because there was supposed to be a penalty. Four mistakes from VAR this weekend. How does it carry on? But nothing will be spoken about because it's not. I don't know what it is, but Liverpool. Do you remember when that Luis Diaz offside thing?
Yeah.
Do you remember that? That went on for months. That went on for. I don't understand it all. I really don't.
But you look at rugby. Rugby don't have that. No. Tennis, right? Tennis always the ball in, is the ball out. Hang on. Cricket, same thing, right? Over and done in seconds. We've got some prick sitting up in front of a video screen going, is it? I don't. Oh, what do you reckon, mate? Have a look. Have a look. You have a look. Let's get the fucking tea lady in. What does she think? Oh, don't know. But have a look at this. 5 fucking minutes later, right? And they come to a decision that was still fucking wrong. How shit are they? They really are.
It is a crazy situation, and I do despair with it. And I don't know where it's going. I am concerned though that Ange is the only one talking about it, and he looks like the lone voice. And it's kind of all because he's under so much pressure anyway. I kind of think to myself, well, the guy's getting it everywhere he can. But he's right in a lot of things that he says. I do agree with him in terms of those sensible conversations. But I don't understand why there's not more managers saying, it's a nonsense. Maybe they're just not having the bad decisions, which I don't believe, because everyone gets bad decisions. And the fact that they're supposed to balance themselves out over the course of the 38 matches, I just don't get it. I just don't believe it.
It comes in waves, doesn't it? This year alone as well. I think that the quote unquote biggest victims of VAR this year of the lot down the road is what they're saying. But then again, it's it's weird. It's always a new thing every year of who's been hard done by the most. I remember when Wolves had 24 decisions go against them in like, what was it, like 12 games or something like that? I can't remember. It was something ridiculous. But I don't get how there can be. There's more of a case against VAR than there is for it, and they've still got it. I don't understand it. I really don't.
It's all about money. For me, it's all about money, I guess. There's probably a big investment in the technology, big companies pushing it. They're probably big sponsors of the game and all the rest of it, and they don't want to upset them and call it for what it is. You know, killing the game, killing the experience. It just beggars belief to me. I just don't get it at all. Of course, we should really talk about the upcoming game against Frankfurt. Of course,
do we have to? Because he keeps saying about going, and it's going to cost me a fortune if we get through when we go away. But go on, carry on.
Well, there's lots of tickets available. Apparently, there is tickets available. You can get them.
It's bending my ear.
Which is a bit disappointing considering the aggravation I had to go through to get that ticket in Alkmaar. So I wish I'd waited now. Not that I didn't enjoy my time in Amsterdam. It was brilliant, but going to Frankfurt might have been just as good. So anyway, listen, we need to talk about this game because it's obviously in the quarterfinals now. So Alex, how are you feeling about it ahead of this game? Are you excited or are you pessimistic? How are you feeling?
I'm always excited to watch Tottenham for some unknown strange reason. I'll be more excited if I won't be that excited if we do have a good result and we go away to Frankfurt, in the league, because basically we want to spend about £1,000 to go and see it. But no, I'm always excited to see Tottenham play. So I'm excited to see Frankfurt on Thursday. So yeah, I'm going to be a good game.
Dean, what's your views? How are you feeling about this game? It's a bit of a big one, really, isn't it?
It is, and it'll be brilliant, right? Because again, I'm going to throw this one back at you, then, Lee. If we win at Frankfurt, and then we go on and miracle upon miracles, right? We win the Europa League, right? We win it. We actually win it. Is it a good season?
It's a brilliant season.
Exactly, right? And I've said that to somebody else. Nah, mate, we finished fourth. No, we won a cup. It's a European Cup, and we've won one. Yeah. How can it not be a good season?
It'd be the best season. It'd be the best season for 20 odd years.
Yeah, exactly. I'm having it. I am taking it, and I go giving it plenty, right? Yeah. If the spammers can do it for that shitbox cup they just won, then yeah, I'm sure we can do it for the Europa League. So it's all or nothing, isn't it? It's like that fucking documentary, mate. This is what it should have been about. This is all or nothing. This is where Ange lives or dies. It's where our season lives or dies. So yeah, it's a really, really important game. Really is.
Are you feeling confident about the game?
No, because we're shit, right? However, I think Frankfurt lost the weekend, didn't they? Did they lose?
I can have a look.
Basically, have a look.
Of course, we'll have a look.
And they're third in Bundesliga.
Yeah, but they've been really, really disappointing. I've been following them in terms of drawing here, losing here, drawing here.
They got a lot of injuries as well. I think someone said they got a lot of injuries and
their first keeper's out for the first leg.
Oh, goody. How many injuries have they got? Have they got like 24 injuries?
I do not know, but
we've got up a chance then.
Looking at their games, they lost 2-0 to Werder Bremen. They could only beat Stuttgart 1-0 when they were 10 men down. They lost to a team. That's it. They lost to SG, who are in the third tier of German football in the Pokal. Yeah. They lost to Union Berlin before that. They lost 4-1 to Leverkusen before that. 4-0 to Bayern before that. They drew with Mönchengladbach, Wolfsburg, lost to Roma, drew with Hoffenheim, who we beat.
There's as shit as us then.
Yeah, they drew with Hoffenheim. Yeah,
the trouble is we don't want them to be too much shit than us, because then they become the underdog and Dr. Tottenham comes a knocking. So we don't want them to be too shit.
We ain't in, mate. Dr. Tottenham has gone away for the Easter break, right? If we can't get a
he's making chocolate fucking eggs.
How are they third? I'm looking at these results now. It's shocking. 3-1 against Mainz, 2-1 against Leipzig, 2-2 against Augsburg, 3-0 against Leipzig 2 weeks before that.
The thing is, though, we need to, like, if we're at home, we need to smash them. Because going away to Frankfurt is a totally different fucking ball game, mate. Their fans are absolutely fucking mental. Properly mental. So they'll be up for that.
They'll put on a good show coming up as well, won't they? They'll put up a good show on Thursday, I think.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's always a good game. We just got to turn up. I mean, he's got to bring it on and go, look, everything else, this is fucking like, it's 0-0, start of the season. This is our season all wrapped up in like 5 games. 5 games, we're a champion.
Yeah. No, I'm with you, mate. I think if we win this competition, and that's a big if, I know, but if we were to win it, for me, it's the best season for over 20 years and possibly over 40 years, because that was the last time we won a European trophy, right? So for me, I'd take it all day long, absolutely all day long. If you look at the other year with Man United when they won the FA Cup, and everyone's like, oh, what a shit season Man United had, but they still won the FA Cup under Ten Hag. Ten Hag walked away after winning 2 cups for Man United.
Twice, yeah.
Right? So you think to yourself, well, hold on, everyone's going to look back in years to come and they're going to go, who was the managers at Man United? You know, who's the ones who won the trophies? And they'll be looking and they'll see on there in the history, Ten Hag won 2 trophies in 2 seasons, and this Amorim is going to win sweet Fanny Adams, fingers crossed. Yeah. So, you know, and they changed from one to the other and all the rest of it. And this is my argument all the time when people talk about it, you know, top 4 or trophies and all that. For me, the top 4 was never something I was interested in.
No.
If you look back at the time, the teams we've had where we've literally disrespected the Europa League, and you think what an opportunity that's been over the years for us to have won that, and we never ever took it seriously because we was too busy chasing Champions League football. And even that's Pochettino doing that, who everyone kind of lauds. And I think there's been some crazy decisions in there. You know, I mean, I'd kill for a Europa League trophy, if I'm being honest.
Mm-hmm.
Mason, how are you feeling about ahead of the game on Thursday?
Before I say anything, I'm trying to find a cheap option to go to Frankfurt. He wants to fly. So before
I'm looking now, actually, Mason, and we ain't going full stop, son. So
well, I've bought the tickets, so we are.
Well, I'll buy the tickets off you.
Either way, no. First, I mean, it's always, in my opinion, you lot have a different opinion. It's always harder the second leg away. Do you agree with that?
Yeah,
because you never know what's going to happen. If you can go win away and then come back home, you're like, okay, right, we can recoup, but you can't that way, can you? It's very much. I think personally, we go through, but it's going to be hard. Very. Who have we got after? Let's do a bit of research now.
Lazio.
I think it is Lazio.
You fancy a 15-hour coach drive, Mason?
I do not, no.
Oh, right.
See, but that's a 6-hour drive.
So he wants me to do here in Frankfurt and back again in a day. Come on, people. Let me know what you think of that idea.
An Airbnb £8.
Let us know in the comment section whether you think Alex should do a 6-hour round trip journey.
No.
There and back in a day.
An Airbnb around the corner stadium is £8. He's lying again.
We can do £114 return. Oh, is that one way though? It might be only one way. Yeah, it's only £230 by a 15-hour coach drive.
Right. Anyway, Lazio as well.
Yeah,
they haven't been great. It's all lining up too well for us that I'm quite scared. If I'm being honest, they just drew with Torino. I was in the pub at that game, watching that game, 1-1. They lost 5-0 to Bologna. They drew with Victoria Pleasant 1-0. 1-0. Same with Udinese the week before that. Lost 2-0 to Inter. 0-0 with Venezia. It's lining up too perfectly for us to not fuck up. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about? That's what I'm saying.
Who else is it? Who have Lazio got? Who have Lazio got to beat?
Blint? Is it Bodo Blint?
Bodo Glimt. They've got them Thursday. Yeah. So they'll go through on that because Bodo Glimt aren't exactly a really good team. I don't know how they've got this far. But
that's what you want. You want them to trip up Lazio, and all of a sudden we've got an easier route in.
Yeah.
It's just the other side as well, though. I mean, but they ain't brilliant. I mean,
no, they're not. That's what I'm
love to play
saying.
United.
It's very much.
It's
It's lining up too perfectly for us to. I mean, we lost to a team whose manager was in jail, so anything can happen. But it's lining up, as I keep saying. It's lined up too perfectly, and I'm scared by it. If I'm being honest, Lee, very scared. But I don't know. I really don't know. So, like Frankfurt, I don't know how they're third in the Bundesliga. You can go through anyone can go through their results now. I don't know how they're third. And you can say the same about Lazio. I don't know how they're sixth. I'm going for their games now, but it doesn't look like they ever win. They just draw.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. If I'm being brutally honest, I don't really get how we can be 14th with the team that we've got and the players that we've got in there. We shouldn't be in the position that we're in. We've lost so many games which we shouldn't have lost. I think many lost opportunities.
I think that comes down to it is the quality of manager, because you got to think that his football. If Celtic were in the Europa League, they do well. Put it that way, and they do well. It's the style of football. When you play in Europe, you play with a different intensity. You play with a different mindset. You play with a different tactic. The Premier League is constant. It's power. It's accelerate. That's why it's the best league. It's everything. It's everything that all the other leagues offer in one. That's why it's the best league. The Europa League isn't the best of the best. That's why it's the second tier. It's different. It's a lower intensity. It's a lower demanding competition. And I think that's why we're doing so well in it. Because if you put us against Champions League now, and we were playing Inter, we would have been knocked out in the league phase. If I'm being brutally honest, it's the Premier League. The Premier League's harder than the Champions League. I say that now. Winning the Premier League is harder than winning the Champions League. It's about depth and quality of every competition. And the Europa League it's not top of the top. It's got good teams in it, but compared to the Premier League, it's a much different, lower quality of football. And I think that's why we're doing so well in that compared to the Premier League.
Yeah, I mean, I do think like the Premier League is just so difficult because any team can beat any team. I know we've talked about the change of manager situation several times and all the rest of it. And I think the longer the season goes on and the more the results get poor, Ange Postecoglou comes under even more pressure and so on. But I've got to be honest with you, I'm still not convinced about who takes over when he goes. You know, when you look at who's available, and you look at the names that are being touted, and I'm looking at it, I'm looking at the league, and I'm going, well, I don't see that Fulham are that much better than us. I don't see that Bournemouth are much better than us, and all the rest of it.
Do you think he's going to go? Though? Do you think he'd go?
Mm-hmm.
You know what?
If he doesn't win it, he's gone.
Well, I think he goes at the end of the season if he don't win it, right? If he does win it, if I was him, I'd be doing this, and I'd be going. I'd be going, there you go. I've delivered a trophy in my second season. Like I said, I'm going to do. I'm done with this. I'm going to move on, right? Because I think he's on an eye into nothing. Because I don't think you can. I don't think you can continue with this. You know, this level of pressure on an individual because he looks beaten. You know, he looks absolutely rinsed.
The thing is, Ange, is that it's after every loss, and we've said it so. All of us have all said it so many times. It's that fucking bellend, he's a knob. Get him out of my club. And he talks to the press, and you're like, oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, I do get a lot of stuff he says. I get it. Like when he was talking with Optus, talking to Mark Schwarzer, and they were talking about him using Van de Ven and Romero in the Chelsea game, the previous Chelsea game. And the amount of stick he got for that, right?
Yeah, I know.
And getting injured and all the rest of it. But when he sits down and he explains that actually Romero's injury he was coming back from was a toe injury, and so he was fully fit, right? And he got injured with a different injury. When you look at Van de Ven passed every test available to say that he was fit to play. The medical staff said he was fit to play. The recuperation staff said he was ready to play. Van de Ven said he was ready to play.
It's not Ange's fault, no.
So what's he supposed to do? He said, I could have held him off for another week. He said, but then would he get injured in the next game? Or, you know, say it's 4-week injury we'll give it 8 weeks to be sure. He said, but then they've lost 8 weeks worth of football. He said, so it's a really difficult balance that you've got to make. And when he talks like that, sensibly, you can kind of get behind it and understand what he's saying.
He drags me back in every time.
The problem I have is he's after match interviews. That's the thing that really gets me, because he just talks gibberish and talks bollocks, and that really, really annoys me.
Especially after a loss, he looks at the floor, then he just murmurs. Especially after a loss.
But then if you try to talk to any of us after a loss, I mean, how many times do we go down on the concourse and we all stand there and we're ranting and raving and moaning and going? That's what happens after a loss. So why are we expecting him to be any different?
Exactly.
I don't think you can.
He's probably, but he's got to watch his P's and Q's, isn't he?
Right, and on that.
No, absolutely.
So, Brighton game, I know I'm jumping ahead. Lap of appreciation.
Oh, fuck me. Is it?
That is going to be an absolute clusterfuck, right? It's going to be a car crash. So, I want to see what happens there. That's going to be. I mean, they did it at Villa, right? The booze went up, the song, the music went on, and they all fucked off, right? And they're supposed to do that appreciation, and they said over the tannoy, there's not going to be one. Please leave the stadium.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, like, an hour later, they came out, and there's about.
It'll be different if we win the Europa.
That's what I was about to say. But if you then got that, and you're walking around showing the trophy. That's totally different.
The Europa League finals after the lap of appreciation. So I think we know. I think we know if we'd be in the final though at that point.
Yeah.
So there might be one. You never know. But
I mean, if you look at it from this point of view, right? Let's just say this: we're in the quarterfinals of the Europa League. When was the last time that happened? We got to the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup. When was the last time that happened? We actually started to progress in the FA Cup. When was the last time that happened? Right, in a season. So we've done better in all the cup competitions than we've been doing, right? But we're 14th in the league. I get it.
Yeah.
But ultimately, this has happened at a time when he's transitioning a squad from where it was 2 years ago to where it is now. So if you was not a Tottenham fan, right, you could argue that actually Spurs are progressing as a club. Not necessarily in the league, but as a club.
You got to remember, in the Carabao Cup alone, we had the hard. No one can say we didn't. We had the hardest running out of anyone in that competition. And FA Cup as well. Don't get me wrong, we should have battered Tamworth in 90 minutes. But if you look at any other team that was in now, in terms of a dominant side like an Arsenal or a Chelsea or a Man United or a Liverpool, they didn't play a top Prem side in that round that we got knocked out of as well. It's just. I don't know, but you see, what thing is, it's like the teams that we are bundled in with, like the Chelsea, the Liverpool, the Arsenal. I don't get why, but it's also most teams every year like that get a Wimbledon away or a Cheltenham at home or something like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, we had our Tamworth and we should have battered them. Don't get me wrong, but Villa away in the second leg, that kind of put our FA Cup season straight away in the bin. No one thought we was going to get a result there.
No, especially after losing against Liverpool and that as well.
Exactly.
to go out of the Carabao Cup. And bear in mind, we beat them at home. Liverpool.
City, United, Liverpool, and Coventry away. I know Coventry away isn't hard, but it is hard. Midweek Coventry away, and they are one of the top teams in the Championship. When we were going through an injury crisis, that is a very hard run of games. But then you saw like Newcastle's running. Who did they have? They had what? I know Palace was before. They played Palace at one point. Brentford as well. I don't know. They had a mid-table climb. I think they had, but we had all the big boys in our pot.
Yeah.
Oh, to be fair, Newcastle did batter Arsenal, didn't they? But
yeah. Well, like you say, mid-table, nobody's.
Exactly. No. Yeah. To be fair, I got the game here, and Arsenal are playing very well, and it's scaring me.
They are. It makes me sick.
It's fucking. I'm hating it.
take that fucking Madrid shirt off.
Nah, staying on.
Right, well, look, we are at 59 minutes, so we're literally bang on an hour. So I'm going to call it there, gentlemen. I have to say, it's been a pleasure. It's I wasn't sure that we would really get into our rhythm, considering we've had 2 weeks off. We weren't perhaps match fit for this, But,
you know us, mate.
do it.
We just bounce off each other all the time, mate. So,
Yeah.
you know, never fear. The boys are here.
But listen, guys, thanks very much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. Thanks to everybody in the comments section. It's been good to see people in there and listen and seeing people viewing the show. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you understood what we were trying to get to, and whether you agree with us or not, that don't matter because everyone's entitled to their opinion. We'll be back next Tuesday to talk about the aftermath of the weekend and the result of the Frankfurt game, and hopefully be looking forward to building on a win from this Thursday for the following Thursday. But as I say, as always, I'm going to leave it there, and I'll leave you with these words of "Up the Spurs."
Go on to Tottenham.
Go on to Tottenham. Up the Spurs.
Up the Spurs.